Okay, got me some Cool antifreeze and some distilled water. Gonna mix me up six gallons of this and start dumping her in. Okay, I'm getting ready to fill this up with coolant. That's where you're gonna fill it up at. There is a screw or a bolt right here. It's got to come out of the thermostat housing. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill it up until antifreeze starts coming out of this hole here, and they'll go from there then. Okay, I got about 2 gallons in there right now. I don't see nothing coming out of this hole. System capacity, the book's telling me 20 to 25 quarts, depending on I guess what engine options and stuff you have on your truck. So it's 20 to 25 quarts. I'll let you know how much goes in. Okay, she's starting to come out of here. So I'm going to tighten that up. I've got about 4 gallons in the system right now. Okay, you got that bolt tight. Now you're going to fill up your reservoir to the cold mark. And right now I've got about 4.5 gallons in the system. Once you do that, you're going to install the cap. You're going to fire up the engine, and you're going to run it at 2,000 to 2,500 RPM until the engine reaches the normal operating temperature and the thermostat opens up. Then you're going to let the engine idle for 3 minutes. Then you're going to turn the engine off. You're going to let it cool. And then you're going to, once it's cooled down, you can refill the tank up to the cold mark. And then you're going to again run it up to 2,000, 2,500 RPM until it reaches the operating temperature. Then you're going to let it idle for 3 minutes. You're going to shut it off, let it cool down, and then refill it to the cold mark, and that should bleed all the air out of the coolant in a Duramax. So that's what I'm going to do. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to fire this up for a second, and then I'm going to shut her down because my steering box is completely empty with fluid. So I got to kind of get that fluid up to level, and then I can do the coolant stuff. But I'm going to just fire it up and get some fluid into the power steering system. Okay, so I've bled the power steering system. The way I did that was I just turned the truck on, let it run for, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. First I started out pushing on my brakes because this is a Hydro Boost. So the brakes and the power steering is all the same unit. So first I was pushing the brakes to bleed it, and then once I had a nice firm pedal, I took my steering wheel, turned it back all the way one way, all the way the other way, and again only running the truck maybe 10-15 seconds at a time, so I don't run the pump dry. So I got a good pedal, and the steering feels pretty good. So I've got that topped off. Now I'm ready to bleed the cooling system. Well, the temperature's getting there. It's sure going slow. I'm not sitting here constantly with it at 2,000 RPM. I'm running it up, and then I'm running out, making sure, checking everything over, making sure nothing's leaking out there. And so I'm not just constantly holding this thing at 2,000 RPM. I don't think diesels like to get warm anyway. I think it takes a while. I don't see anything dripping. Moving up. Thermostat should be trying to kick in about now, I would think. Okay, thermostats have opened. I went out and checked the hose, and it is now open. So I'm going to let this truck idle for 3 minutes like the book says, and I'm going to pull it in the shop, go get something to eat, let this cool down, and I'm going to come back and recheck it. Okay, just got finished idling for 3 minutes. Now I'm going to go get something to eat, let everything cool down, then fill my tank back up to the full cold. And I think for my second time running the truck, I'm just going to drive it around until the thermostat opens up. Then I'll come back, let it cool down, and then recheck it. But so far so good. I don't see anything leaking, anything dripping underneath. The steering feels awesome. I mean, that new box just feels so good. I can't wait to get it on the road to see how it feels, because it already feels good, and it's just backing it out of the shop. So I think I'm going to be really happy with that. But anyway, I'm going to go eat, and then I'll come back and top this off. Well, I'm back out here after the truck cooled down. You can see I got her topped off again. Right now I'm about close to 5 gallon in this thing now. I don't think it's going to take much more. I don't think there's much more air in there. So tomorrow I'm going to do another running it up to temperature, and after it opens, after the thermostat opens, the thermostat's open, I'll let it idle and let it cool down and check it again. I don't see any leaks down here except for right there, which is the coolant I spilt filling the tank up. It run down the tank, down the fender, and it ended up down there. So I believe it's a job well done. I think it's all sealed up, all the O-rings sealed up. So looks like she's fixed. I'm going to tomorrow spray all the frame down and everything with degreaser to get all the power steering fluid and stuff off, everything off the frame, and all the antifreeze off the frame and cross members and stuff. Then I'll reinstall the inner fenders. And there's 2 skid plates underneath. I took them off. They gotta go back on, and this job will be done. Well, there should be no leaks. It's been 3 days now. I've got it. The system should be pretty much all bled. And I've got around 5 gallon that I had to add to the system. So there was, I'm guessing there's some that was still in the cooling system, because I didn't drain it completely. So anyway, I got about 5 gallon in there. I don't see anything leaking. Everything looks good. My tensioner is squeaking right now, so I got a new one ordered for that. I'm not sure why it's squeaking. I'll show you when I replace it. I did use degreaser all over the motor to get it all cleaned up, so I could make sure there was nothing leaking. So I don't know if that degreaser got in there and did something to it or what, but anyway, it's squeaking bad, so I got to replace that. I guess that's it. This was not a real cheap fix. I think I got around $500 in the water pump, the housing, both thermostats. I believe that was around $500, and then another $70 for the power steering hoses. And then, you know, of course, the coolant and stuff. I don't know, that was another $30 or so, I think. $30-40. So this really was not that cheap of a fix, but if I had to pay someone to do it, it would have been a whole lot more than what I got away with. Steering is absolutely awesome. Feels so nice. I guess I would compare it to, it feels like a new truck now. So there wasn't a whole lot of play in the steering before, but there was a little bit of play, and she's great now. I mean, it is so nice. It's just awesome. I guess that's it. Going to probably drive this more than the S10 now, so I can feel her out, make sure everything's working good. This truck makes that S10 feel like a rubber band, so I guess I'll end the video there, and gotta take my truck down and get her cleaned up, because she's been sitting for actually a long time. She's been sitting, so I guess puts an end to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the water pump removal and installation, and bleeding, and hopefully maybe you guys learned something and help someone out maybe. And I will see you guys in the next one. You gonna take it for a test drive, buddy? Make sure she feels good? Huh? Is that what you're gonna do? You gonna take it for a test drive? Make sure the steering's nice and tight. Huh? Yeah? Yeah, buddy? You look like you're a little tired. Huh? You a little tired? Yeah? It's been a long day?